I had nothing to do with Michael Phelps coming to Columbia and making a bad decision. He did that. His bad decision in the highly publicized photograph placed me and the Richland County Sheriff's Department in a no-win situation. Ignore it and be criticized, or address it and be criticized. I chose to do what was right. While to some it may have not been the most popular decision, it was and is the right decision because of the law and the negative impact it could have had on our children here in Richland County. Michael Phelps is truly an American hero. I, along with the rest of America, cheered his victories, felt pride when he stood on the podium and got his medals. But even with his star status, he is still obligated to obey the laws of our state. He is not immune from his responsibilities to do what is right. He is also human and can make mistakes. I took an obligation, my oath as sheriff, to enforce the law equally and fairly without any personal bias or prejudice. With Michael Phelps, I had to remove his medals, his hero status, and look at him as any other person. I felt it was important that he be treated fairly and equally and that a message be conveyed that illegal drug use is illegal by anyone. Our investigation focused on the possession, use, and distribution of illegal drugs in Richland County. The incident in November only initiated our investigation, which resulted in the arrest of adults who at the time of their arrest were in possession of illegal drugs. Contrary to some, this was not a special investigation or one that impacted our resources on any other crimes. This was in fact a short investigation and a simple investigation conducted by narcotics investigators whose sole responsibility is to investigate drug violations. The time and resources were quite minimal when compared to other drug investigations. In the time this investigation was being conducted, we solved a murder, ATM robberies, and other numerous crimes. The house of the November party had previously been the subject of a drug case and other crimes. The related house in Irmo had also been the subject of a previous drug case. Both locations were sources of problems in our community. The charge of those arrested in this investigation will be handled as we do in other similar arrests. As a cop, my responsibility is to enforce the law, not to create it or ignore it. Marijuana in the state of South Carolina is illegal, and I am obligated to enforce the law again equally, fairly, and without personal bias. I would have been remiss in my duty as sheriff if I would have ignored the November incident and subsequent drug violations we discovered during our investigation. By ignoring the November incident, I would have been sending a message of tolerance and condoning the use of illegal drugs. I could not do that, nor have I ever done that. I would be a hypocrite in view of our extensive drug abuse resistance education program that I have been active in for so many years. How can we teach our kids through DARE not to do drugs and then look the other way if it's an important person? Our message has to be loud, clear, and consistent. Don't do drugs. I have always advocated that we cannot arrest our way out of the drug problem. We must do it through enforcement and education, such as the DARE program utilizes. Having thoroughly investigated this matter, we do not believe we have enough evidence to prosecute anyone that was present at the November party. Michael Phelps and I agree that something positive needs to come from this incident, and that is a message of not using drugs. He can speak on this issue from his perspective. My perspective is that the law pertains to everyone, and our drug laws are to be enforced. I knew it was going to come, like I said at the beginning. This was a no-win situation. If I'd ignored it, then people on the other side would have said, well, why are you ignoring it? This is drug violations. It's against the law. You have to do something. Do something about it, then the other side's going to say, well, why should you be doing it? So it was a no-win situation, but I did what the law says and what I felt was right. It is a drug violation. We had to investigate it. We had no choice. And this was not the first time either one of these houses had been subject to a drug investigation. So this, the photograph just initiated us into doing something which is our job that we do every single day. This is no different than any other tip that we get from the community or someone that says, hey, this is some information. We have to react to it. It wouldn't have been so much a celebrity, but the minority kid standing here on the corner that's got a joint in his pocket, and we pull up and And so somebody's complaining about him selling there and we'd arrested him, what's the difference? What's the difference? You know, you take the medals from around his neck and you paint his color, skin of his color, brown or black. Are we even talking about this? No, we're not. You got to treat everybody the same. And if we would have not charged him or went after him or done anything and just completely ignored it, then I couldn't have lived with myself, and this sheriff's department would not have been doing the job that we're supposed to be doing. We've got to take the same approach to everybody. It's no different.